Good morning, Blast boys and girls. It's Miss Ellen, and today I've got my grade 5 class in front of me, and I really miss you all. I miss playing the Amazing Race with you when we do Sunday school, and I also miss making movies with you as well. And today I'm going to read another story. And this story too, is about another courageous person. And again, sometimes God uses the most unusual people to do His purpose. Maybe God has put you here for such a time as this. What gifts might you be able to use in the world around you? And that's an especially interesting question right now during our COVID-19 epidemic. Well, our story today is about the queen who saved her people. It's written by Carolyn Keene and it's illustrated by Jack Glover. In long ago Persia, a land like a dream, King Ahasuerus decreed that the cream of all the young ladies be brought to his throne, and from them he promised to choose one alone. She'd reign as his queen, and she'd be his dear wife. What girl wouldn't love to live that sort of life? A kind Jewish servant called Mordecai peered at the young girls arriving and stroked his long beard. From far and from near they have come by the dozen, but none are so lovely as Esther, my cousin. I'll take her to Ahasuerus' hall, and if it's God's will, he'll choose her over all. The folk in the palace all loved Esther dearly, and soon came the day when the king announced clearly, "It's Esther I've chosen above all the rest." "Hurrah!" cried the crowd, "he has chosen the best." The whole kingdom stopped work to honor their queen with feasts such as never before had been seen. At first life was sweet for the happy young bride. Then Haman, a prince who was puffed up with pride, in some sneaky way got the king to decree, "Now Haman's head servant, to him bend your knee." The other poor servants just had to obey, but Mordecai stroked his long beard in dismay. "Jews bow to their God," said the gentle old man. "Bow down before Haman? There's no way I can." When Haman found this out, he narrowed his eyes and ran to the king with a whole pack of lies. The king, all befuddled at last, said, "Okay, your head servant Haman will do it your way." And what was the terrible thing Haman planned? To kill every Jew in the whole Persian land. Now tears of despair flowed from Mordecai's eyes. Each street that he wandered was filled with his cries. It seemed from such evil could never come good. Then God's Spirit touched him, and he understood. Queen Esther was Jewish. God gave her that throne so people would not face their trouble alone. A servant told Esther about Haman's plan. "Oh no," cried the queen, "what a horrible man! I'll stop him. I promise. I know what I'll do. Have a feast for the king and invite Haman too. And when the king's happy, his tummy quite full, I'll tell him the trick Haman thought he could pull." The feast was soon ready. The candles burned bright. But Esther somehow felt the time was not right. "I'll have them tomorrow to another great feast, and then tell the king that his servant's a beast." So next day the cooks did the whole thing again. The queen and her guests ate and ate and ate. Then, "I've something to ask you, dear Ahasuerus," said Esther. Is there any chance that you'll spare us? Would you have your queen killed and her people too? I thought that you loved me. Please tell me you do." At first the king thought she was just having fun, But then Esther told him what Haman had done. "He what?" cried the king. And did Haman shake then, and soon no one saw him, not ever again. Good Mordecai took over Haman's old job. He wisely and happily ruled the whole mob of servants who now like to cook and to clean. Our life so much better, it's thanks to the queen. Then all of the Jews in the whole Persian land held a Thanksgiving feast. 'Twas the first ever planned. We thank God for Esther. To him we sing praise. We'll thank him and trust him the rest of our days. And Jews to this day every year read the tale of Esther who showed them God's love will not fail. And that is a wonderful story of Esther and her courage. And she wasn't she was still a young girl when she did this. There's another picture of Esther that somebody drew. So, regardless of our station in life, there are times when God has placed us just so for some purpose that he might have for us. But we need to be prepared. And being prepared is that list of loving him, learning all about him, of talking to him, singing our praises to him, and then being obedient. And it takes sometimes a great deal of courage. But God tells us that he is with us, and it is really, he will do the work. We just have to step forward and be obedient to him. So that is the wonderful story of Queen Esther, and a great place to stop and take note of our own lives. And we'll see you next time. Bye for now, and keep your courage up during this COVID pandemic.